Tell me about yourself.
My name's Lee Stover, and I currently attend the Temple University Fox School of Business and Management. I transferred here this year as a sophomore from East Carolina University. I currently maintain a 3.3 grade point average here at Temple. Before I came to college, I attended Great Valley High School in Malvern, Pennsylvania. In high school, it was very important for me to give back through different service entities throughout the school. The most important group to me was a group called Kid to Kid. This took about 20 of us high schoolers, and we went to DuPont Hospital. At DuPont, we mainly dealt with terminally ill kids who were dealing with cancer treatments. Unfortunately, these kids were in a lot of pain, and they loved when we would simply play ping pong with them or shoot hoops, even play video games. Towards the end, once we were done with our time at DuPont, the kids actually started to open up to us emotionally, and we took advantage of the opportunity from giving them some advice. I learned a lot from this experience because these were little toddler kids, and they were overcoming something so emotional, so painful, and still trying to find a silver lining in their lives. It taught me a lot about being a leader, because these kids were being leaders in their own lives. Using this education, I eventually became the varsity basketball captain my junior year of high school, and I maintained this position my senior year. I learned a lot about myself through this experience, and a lot about leadership. I learned that I was very intrinsically motivated. After a brief amount of time, I realized I didn't care as much about success as I wanted to take advantage of the challenge. I wanted to learn about myself, and I wanted to take lessons from this experience that I could use throughout the rest of my life. With regards to leadership, I learned that sometimes being a leader isn't about being vocal. I put my head to the grindstone, and I always worked hard. I led by example. And I learned that a huge part of being a leader is helping others find what motivates them to be better people overall. If you can find that, then you can apply it to whatever you're doing. This led to many conflicts with me and my teammates because sometimes it required me to be hard on them. I learned through this that constructive conflict leads to success in almost all cases, as long as you don't take it personally and you make it effective yourself. This type of conflict is the most important part of any company's culture. This collaboration leads to not only innovation in ideas and products, but can also be seen in market value and share price.
Tell me about a significant accomplishment in your life.
I would have to say my most significant accomplishment happened last year at East Carolina University. I had the fortunate opportunity of being part of a tremendous group called Business Emerging Leaders of America at ECU. This group was ran by 5 graduate students, and I knew I was going to get a lot out of it because I could tell that they were extremely passionate about what we were learning and what they wanted to pass on to our generation. At the end of my tenure in this group, I won the Most Likely to Succeed award. And I do care about that award very deeply, but what resonates with me is how and why I won it. At the beginning of our meetings, for the first couple weeks, we would listen to great business leaders and speakers, and I learned a ton through not only that, but also through individual activities that we were doing. However, there wasn't a lot of peer collaboration, and I felt and knew that in the business world, there's plenty of collaboration, and it's a key part to being successful. I set up a meeting with the group leader, Samantha, and we brainstormed about different ways that we could, maybe start a presentation or have a group project, or just a way that we could collaborate effectively in groups, and it would teach us how to do well in that type of scenario going forward. Through my research, I found in Greenville, where ECU is located, an outdoor obstacle course that is not able to be completed individually. I set up a project where we spread out into different smaller groups, and we had to take on this obstacle course in these groups. Afterwards, we had to write a simple 2-page paper about what we learned about collaboration, what it took to succeed, and how we kind of were able to collaborate if we didn't really know how to before. I was able to read and grade these papers myself, and this project that I took on was presented to the board, and they gave me the Most Likely to Succeed award in Business Emerging Leaders.
Tell me about what you've learned in this class.
To be completely honest with you, I've gained a wealth of knowledge out of HRM class this year. However, there are a few things that have really stuck with me. First is culture. I learned that a company's culture defines not only where they're going, but who they want to be and what they want to contribute to not only the market, but the world. By looking at their values, their norms, and their vision, you can kind of see where you want to fit in this company and where you can be successful. I know in my everyday business life, I've been taking advantage of this every day. I've been applying to internships recently. The first thing that I do is go to the company's mission statement. I look for details on their values, their culture, and hopefully in their mission statement, I can kind of find my own niche, maybe something that I can exploit where I will fit into the company and I can portray that to any authority figure I may come in contact with. I really find it important to do this because you can also go into the company's mission statement and they only have one sentence on it, or maybe they don't have one at all. I want to be a part of a company that knows where it's going and knows why it's going there. And I want to make something. I want to help build something that can change the worldview as we know it. A few weeks ago, there was an article written in the Wall Street Journal. It was about Anthony Jenkins, the new Barclays Capital CEO. The first thing that Anthony said he wanted to do was make Barclays more transparent. He was tired of big banks being looked at as this opaque, almost shady type industry. With the recent ridicule on banks like JP Morgan and Citibank, the first thing that Anthony did is have a meeting with his employees. He told them what he was going to do, how they were going to do it, and what the new culture was going to be. This transparent culture started immediately with a stockholders meeting, telling the stockholders where they were going to invest, what industries they were going to invest in, and even trying to portray some numbers in the future. The second thing that I really care about that I learned in HRM is all about motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. Extrinsic motivation being the success, maybe money, maybe power, but I've learned that you have to find intrinsically what you care about, how you want to better yourself. And you have to really keep your head to the grindstone and work on it. If you keep working on it, then all of those extrinsic things will come.